Your kids aren't listening to your words. They're watching this. Every week I see it in my practice. Dads coming in, trying to figure out how to prepare their kids for the world and be the best fathers they can possibly be. They want to read all the parenting books. They want all the advice from me on how to talk to their kids. And the reality is that's not what does it. It's how you show up as a man in front of your kids, the way that you behave, the way that you manage your stress, the way that you talk to the other parent involved, and the way that you show up when no one's looking. It's a crushing responsibility, but it's a powerful one, and it gives so many opportunities for growth and improvement and connection with your kids. And in this conversation with Oscar Pena from the Daughter podcast, we break that down, and he's got great insights on how to recover from those mistakes, how to improve from those mistakes, and be the best parent that you can possibly be.
It's caught, not taught. People have said that many times. It's what they're seeing. I can tell them till I'm blue in the face how they should go choose another partner, a man. And then if I'm doing the complete opposite, it doesn't matter. It might make it worse. And to know that we're looking at men being present in their lives and then emulating what they hope is good and fair and masculine in another man, but showing that through not just with them specifically, but through their relationship with their wife. Like, I think that's huge. Mindful about how they're seeing you, what they're seeing you do, and what they're hearing you say. It needs to be congruent. Otherwise, it is going to be a problem.
Well, it's not just going to be a problem, it hurts the kids. Children are simple, and we as a species make the most fragile children of almost any species. Like, look at almost any other mammal, and they come out walking. Ours are just big bobbly brains that are still trying to develop. And children need simple answers. What I see all the time with adults in practice is every parent's going to make mistakes, right? Kids are going to latch onto something. And what happens is the minute that a kid doesn't feel like their world is safe, it's usually because their parents, caregivers, or whoever's in charge of them does something incongruent. Their words don't line up with what they say. Their actions don't line up with what the world is doing. And sometimes that can be pretty profoundly clear, and sometimes kids just find something. And so what happens then is they need to make a straight line story that makes the world safe for them again. They need to make an excuse for the parent either not being the parent they need them to be, or they need a reason why parents don't need to be that. And that's all of a sudden when all our little quirks and foibles pop up. That's why some people are perfectionists, right? Hey, if I just do the right things, my parents show up. That's why we get some people that are fiercely independent. Hey, I shouldn't need anybody. Like, I'm 5, I shouldn't need anybody. I should be able to make my own breakfast. And the tragedy of it is no matter how good of a parent you are, people are going to find their thing. But the worse parent you are, the more things they find. And that's when people really start to struggle, is when these stories get layered. And that's what we're talking about, that you show, you don't teach, right? Like you be there with them, you do the best you can. But you also, when you fail, when you aren't in congruence with what you want to be in the world, acknowledge that with your kid. Hey, I wasn't who I wanted to be there. Here's what I'm going to do to get better. I'm so sorry. Which is something that our parents, like, I don't know about yours, my parents never apologized as a child, right? That was against their authority. That was thought of as destructive to children at the time. And it's important when I say these things that to remind everybody that doesn't mean our parents were bad. It was how it was at that time. My dad spanked me. He hated every minute of it. The reason he spanked me was because for his generation, if you didn't spank your kid, you didn't love them. It means you didn't have boundaries, right? So these ideas that we have around accountability, I think where we just didn't dial it in right for a little while, is parents had no accountability when we were kids. And then for a little while, children had no accountability. Like, it was all parents like knocking everything down, making it all about like, hey, I'm going to provide you everything. You don't have to worry about anything. I got you. I'm so sorry I didn't get you here. That's my fault. Where now, hopefully, we're getting more into the like just being accountable to each other. Your kid needs to make her bed. You need to, when you have the space, to go and like celebrate that with her. And sometimes you're not going to be able to. And she still needs to be able to do the thing. And that's okay too.
And one thing I've learned with that specific thing is when they don't do it, we take it as the playbook that we've been given, at least I'll say Oscar's playbook, right? Is a disrespect. And that's when we start getting into the emotional control issue, the yelling, the screaming, what have you. And it's been a extreme change for me to say they didn't do it because they're trying to disrespect me. They just didn't do it. And trust me, this is literally a daily battle in my own head, right? It feels really good when I don't get upset and I just say, hey, listen, you had a chore. You know that everything in life has a consequence. There's a good consequence for good things, there's a bad consequence for bad things. Everything has a consequence. You didn't do your chore. You have 5 minutes to get your chore done. If you don't want to, that's fine. You're going to end up doing it anyway, but there's a consequence attached to it. So either way, you're going to do it. Just understand that there's a consequence attached to it. And that could be anything from with my 13-year-old is real easy. Like that phone will go away. Right? I don't need you to have that phone. So easy peasy, right? And that's a big no-no. That's her connection to the world. But just little things like that, right? And it's crazy when I can not get upset and just almost have it be a matter of fact. You didn't do your stuff. Here's a consequence. Go ahead and do it now, because now you still have to do it, but there's a consequence, and it goes so much better, right? Because my daughter still doesn't like it.
Well, that's a key point, right? I think the hardest thing is it can't be about punishment, because punishment is about the person who's been hurt's anger being resolved, not about the action and the consequence. What's interesting is it's easier if you don't get upset, but it doesn't mean that you can't get upset. It just has to be, the consequence has to be consistent regardless of whether you're upset or not. And I think that's where a lot of guys get stuck. They want to be like that stoic parent where like, hey, like this is just the way of the world. I'm teaching you the way of the world. This is the consequence. It's okay for you to get a little pissed at her for not doing it, just as long as that's not the reason why the consequence is occurring. And you can even tell her, this, like, I'm really upset that you didn't get this done right now. Like, and I'm holding that, and that's not going to change the consequence. Like, you didn't do this. You don't do it in the next 5 minutes, you lose your phone. And this isn't because I'm angry, but I am. Like, you feel that, I'm upset at you right now because I know you can do better.
I'm glad you brought that up, but there's a difference between saying you made me upset and I'm upset.
It upsets me when.
Right. Yeah. And that's something that I've shifted in the last few years where it's like, I'm upset. I'm letting you know that. But it's not you, right? Because one thing I try to teach the girls is you're in charge of your emotions. Bottom line, that they're yours. If you give them to someone, then that's that you lost that, right? But what hypocrisy would it be if I'm like, you made me upset, like because of you, like it's I'm very clear. I'm upset right now. I don't want to talk to you. Go over there and finish your chore, whatever. But I've really shifted to not saying you did this to me.
And that's an important distinction. I think the trick there, though, is you can acknowledge that what they've done is upset you, right? And you can say, I'm upset because this happened and I know you can do better. The trick with it is, on the other end of it, is the repair. Hey, you did it. I'm really glad you did. It's making it a lot easier for me to not be upset about this anymore. Thank you. I'm glad we're here again. And so I think where we kind of, it's hard to dial in, man, because we as guys don't have models for this. We really don't. But the way that it's supposed to work is that you are responsible for what you do with your emotions, right? Like how they drive you, the actions you take, that's on you. The emotions you have are absolutely influenced by the people around you. And that's why it's so important to choose who you spend your time around, to understand what you're responding with based on who's around, and not handing children responsibility to manage your emotions. But part of how we teach kids about this is that it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be upset at someone for something, and then how to resolve it. What to do with that being upset. Hey, speak a boundary. If you're upset, it's because somebody crossed a boundary. Speak your boundary and keep the people around you that'll respect and repair those boundaries with you. If you want to be a better parent and you like this video, please hit that like button.